Your IT band is on fire. Your hips are locked up. Your coach says stretch more, and you've been doing the same 12-minute YouTube routine for the last 6 months. Nothing is changing. What if I told you that the missing piece in your training isn't more miles, more foam rolling, or more rest? It's 99 degrees. I'm Gina Pasquariello, founder and lead instructor at Asana Yoga Studio in Wichita, Kansas. And this is Melt, Hot Yoga, Hot Takes. More than just a hot room. Hot Asana is Wichita's home for heat, strength, and transformation. A 99-degree studio where runners use hot yoga as low-impact cross-training for mobility, strength, and recovery. Today, we're talking to the runners, the half-marathon trainers, the Prairie Fire hopefuls, the people who log every mile but never think about what's actually slowing them down. Because peer-reviewed research says the answer isn't what you think. Let's get into it. Here's a stat that stopped me cold when I first read it. A 2025 study in the Journal of Physiology followed trained runners through 5 weeks of repeated heat exposure. No extra running, no added mileage, just consistent heat sessions layered on top of their normal training. VO2 max improved by 4.4%. Now, for context, that's the kind of gain athletes used to have to travel to altitude training camps in Colorado to chase. High elevation, weeks away from home, thousands of dollars. These runners got it from heat. The mechanism is elegant. Heat drives your blood volume higher. It increases hemoglobin mass, the protein in your red blood cells that carries oxygen. More hemoglobin means more oxygen, reaching your muscles at the same effort level. Your cardiovascular engine can get an upgrade and without adding a single mile to your training log. Quick nuance, that study used hotter heat exposure than our 99-degree room, and heat adaptation depends on dose and consistency. Think of hot yoga as a practical way to add controlled heat exposure, not a one-to-one copy of the protocol. We call this the heat ceiling effect at Hot Asana. Consistent classes add a manageable heat load that can contribute to heat adaptation signals over time, especially when you practice regularly. Stack that on top of your mileage, and you may be building an aerobic edge that most runners never access. Let me ask you something. What do you do the day after a long run? If the answer is nothing, I want you to listen closely to this next part. A study in the Journal of Sports Science tested runners recovering from high-intensity efforts. One group rested completely. Another group moved at moderate intensity during recovery. The active group cleared blood lactate significantly faster. Faster recovery, less soreness, quicker return to training. And here's the key detail that matters for us. The highest lactate clearance happened at intensities close to the lactate threshold. Not easy shuffling, not just walking around, intentional, moderate movement. For many runners, a hot yoga 60-minute class or hot slow flow can function like active recovery if you keep it moderate. Think smooth pace, controlled breathing, lighter options, and you leave feeling better than when you walked in. If you can't breathe through your nose or you're shaking through every hold, it's not recovery. It's training. A 2025 systematic review confirmed it directly. Chronic hot yoga is appropriate for, and I'm paraphrasing the researchers here, active recovery from more strenuous exercise modalities. And one quick hydration note. Don't just chug plain water after class. If you're a salty sweater, electrolytes matter. Your rest day just got a major upgrade. Okay, this is the one I want every runner in Wichita to hear. A 2024 randomized controlled trial published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine followed 325 novice recreational runners for 24 weeks. They divided them into groups. One did hip and core training, one did ankle and footwork, one did nothing extra. The hip and core group had 34% fewer lower extremity injuries, 52% fewer substantial overuse injuries, fewer IT band syndromes, less patellofemoral pain, fewer overuse injuries that derail training blocks, 34%, That's not a minor improvement. That's a training cycle that doesn't get derailed. That's the half marathon you actually get to run instead of watching from the sidewalk. Here's what makes this relevant to Hot Asana: the single leg balances, the warrior sequences, the glute activation flows, the planks in our Hot Yoga Fit and Inferno formats. These train many of the same protective patterns: single leg stability, lateral hip strength, core endurance, and controlled loading. We're not doing these movements because they look good. We're doing them because the science says they keep runners on the road. Add 99 degrees and you get warm tissue, mobility, and a cardiovascular bump. A combo many gym programs don't bundle into 1 hour. Let's talk about your hip flexors for a second, because I know they're talking to you. Research in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research documented what happens when people with tight hips commit to a targeted stretching program for just 3 weeks. Passive hip extension improved from -20 degrees to -8 degrees. That is a meaningful shift in range of motion in 21 days. Now here's the heat piece. Separate research in physical medicine suggests that heating connective tissue increases its extensibility. In plain English, warm tissue often tolerates stretching and strength work more comfortably. So doing your hip flexor work on a cold gym floor is fine, but doing it in a 99-degree room with a coach cueing your alignment with active isometric loading in crescent lunge and warrior one. For a lot of runners, that's more accessible and more effective because you're warm, coached, and actually doing it consistently. If you're training for the Prairie Fire's spring half marathon in May, or you're already building toward the fall marathon in October, this episode is for you specifically. Hot Asana has 2 locations: East Wichita at 8336 East 21st Street North, and West Wichita at 7348 West 21st Street North. Here's my practical recommendation for fitting hot yoga into your running week. If you're in a base building phase, replace 1 easy run with hot slow flow. Add 1 hot yoga fit session midweek. That's 90 minutes of cross training that can directly address the hip mechanics and heat adaptation your running program may be missing. If you're in a race build, use Hot Yoga 60 the day after your long run as active recovery. Add 1 Hot Yoga Fit or Inferno midweek for strength and heat load. You stay mobile, you stay strong, and you don't add a single hard running day. That's the highest ROI cross-training equation in recreational running. To recap everything, consistent heat exposure can support aerobic adaptation, active recovery beats total rest, hips and core reduce injury risk, and mobility work lands better when your tissue is warm and coached. And if you want to go deeper on all of it, every stat, every study, every peer-reviewed citation, the full science breakdown is in the blog post. Find the link in the description. Your next PR doesn't start with more miles. It starts with the hip mechanics you've been ignoring, the recovery ceiling you've been bumping against, the heat adaptation that the best endurance athletes in the world have been using for years. New students get 2 full weeks of unlimited classes for just $25. And yes, you can grab it online right now at hotasanayogastudio.com. Then book your first class on the schedule page. Links in the description. And if you want the easiest first step, look for Hot Yoga Fundamentals on the schedule. It's designed exactly for where you are right now. This is Melt Hot Yoga Hot Takes. More than just a hot room. Train like a runner. Recover like an athlete. I'm Gina, and I'll see you on the mat.